Do you believe in the unseen? What if it's watching? Some claim they felt its presence. Stay until the end to understand everything. In the spring of 1993, nestled deep in the enigmatic Atlas Mountains of Morocco, a peculiar event unfurled in the village of Tizgui, a serene community, its lives intertwined with the whispers of ancient folklore, suddenly found itself at the heart of a chilling phenomenon. The villagers reported strange happenings, disembodied voices coursing through the still air, shadows flitting across the mountain passes after dusk, and a sense of unease hanging heavy like the fog that rolls over the peaks. The stones seemed to vibrate with an unseen energy. The nights grew longer and darker, pierced only by the nervous laughter of children too afraid to sleep. The primary witness, a local herbalist named Youssef, began documenting his experiences in a fragile notebook. It began with voices, strange murmurs, he recounted years later. And then I saw the shadows. The community, once vibrant with laughter and camaraderie, fell into a cloud of dread. A confirmation of fear surged through the village when others, too frightened to speak up, began sharing their encounters. Young and old alike spoke of eerie figures darting around the edges of the forest that bordered the village, swirling shapes barely glimpsed between the trees, evoking primal fears reminiscent of a time long lost. An official report was hastily scribbled after a large group of villagers claimed to have witnessed a spectral light hovering over the abandoned ruins of an ancient kasbah on the outskirts of town. Local authorities were alerted, but skepticism ran rampant. Recognizing a potential public panic, police called for calm, but subsequently issued a warning. Residents must refrain from wandering the woods at night, one officer remarked, noting the unusual frequency of reports. Yet every week, sightings continued to pour in, each more unsettling than the last. With each whispered retelling, the legend grew, tracing back to ancient tales of the Sahara, a spirit said to protect the sacred places of the land. But why do tales of such supernatural entities grip the imagination? Perhaps it lies within the cultural fabric of Moroccan life, woven with ancient beliefs and spiritual connections to the land. As the village of Tizgui grappled with its darkest imaginings, memories of spirits wandering the earth in search of resolution re-emerged. Stories of disembodied entities haunt the oral traditions, passed down like heirlooms. The Sahara was not just an urban legend. It was a manifestation of fears rooted deep in centuries of history, intertwined with a remembrance of those ancestors who walked before them. The spirits, once guardians, now seemed to be drifting into shadows, demanding notice from the living. Though Tizgui experienced its darker days, it caught the attention of researchers drawn by whispers of the extraordinary. The media soon got wind of the unrest. Newspapers spun stories woven with intrigue and unease. The village became a focal point for those fascinated by the dark side of human belief. Their portrayals stoked the flames of communal anxiety while drawing in thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. Intrigued outsiders spoke of a haunting beauty and frozen moments of fear, and believers came hoping to connect with the otherworldly. And then evidence began to accumulate. Photos of what residents claimed to be the phosphorescent lights became central talking points. Night vision footage captured flickers amidst the trees, blurring the lines between reality and the mystical. Official police log 12393 documented these occurrences with portraits of frightened witnesses. The narratives tangled like the very branches that swayed in the district's nocturnal rhythms. Even military personnel, during routine monitoring, submitted reports of unusual radar signals above the Kasbah at hours when no conventional aircraft should have been present. Yet nothing stood invulnerable against the pervasive skepticism of the era. Analysts raised the possibility of natural phenomena, suggesting gaseous emissions from underground deposits, responsible for creating the odd luminosity. Despite the scientific arguments, Tizgui residents remained steadfast in their beliefs, ghost stories buoyed by the palpable fear permeating the air, a fear that took root and grew wild. As the years passed, Tizgui was marked by something greater. Community bonds frayed, whispers turned into silent nods, and the mountains bore witness to an unspoken understanding. Rituals began to resurface, a fueled apprehension morphing into practice. Ritual shoutings beneath the midnight moon, dances meant to appease the spirit land, the inhabitants unable to shake the dread, began to reshape their lives around the legends. Signs adorned pathways leading into the forest. Talismans left at spots once feared to invoke the Sara's protection. The history of Tizgui has yet to culminate. The physical space shapes stories anew. Villagers still feel the shifts in energy, still hear echoes beyond earshot. Ghostly murmurs during summer nights continue to send chills coursing through the elders as they pass warnings to the young. Collective experience transmutes into legacy, an ever-dancing figure on the edge of the woods. When night blankets the atlas, you may find those villagers seated quietly, retelling the tales. Each one more unearthly than the last. Over time, the connection to the past has remained unbroken, the shadows dancing anew in the minds of many. But beware, for voices unseen lurk still, weaving through the fabric of Tizgui's mist. Do you hear them too? Subscribe to unravel more threads of the hidden. Be careful, for some stories creep beneath the skin, leaving an indelible mark.